91X.
All right, it's 91X. We're live at the Coachella house. Old friends are back in the U.S. again. Kasabian are here. Serge,
Hello,
Tom, cheers.
We go back a long way, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
We go back.
Since we were babies when we first met. You were 24, 25.
I was at the aerodrome in Leicester to see the Who when they played in '75. That's how long I've known you guys. You weren't even born in '75, were you?
No, exactly.
You weren't born. I was there. That was my first time seeing you guys in Leicester.
Wow, I'm proud of you. That's
The
great.
aerodrome. Is there like an aerodrome there? They played this big shed.
It might, probably, yeah.
Back then.
It was Keith Moon was still drumming.
Oh wow.
It was before
So you met us then?
It was before he died.
Oh wow, man. Wow.
Luckily, it was before he died. But it was amazing. It was unbelievable. It was the Who by Numbers tour,
Wow.
Wow.
and tickets were probably about,
£1.
£1.75. Something like that.
Jesus.
Wow. Great.
So, how much is it to see Kasabian nowadays? If,
It's reasonable. You don't get ripped off. We don't charge too hard like Madonna. And you go home, very happy.
Yes.
you go.
Of course.
You have a glory ending.
Now, last time we chatted, there was nothing really. There wasn't really a Leicester scene per se. Are things happening now? Because it seems to me that there's. What is going on? But you've since moved, yeah? Let me ask you that.
No, we still live in Leicester,
You do?
Well, the thing is, we can commute quite easy to London. It's only about an hour on the train, so just over. So
Right.
we still, it's important to us to stay in contact with our friends and family. It's very
Right.
important that thing to us.
So, Leicester's not really known for. The closest band would be really Love and Rockets that were just down the road in Northampton. That would have been,
Well, Engelbert
or
Humperdinck.
Bauhaus.
Engelbert Humperdinck. Remember that
Engelbert
guy?
Humperdinck,
Well, it's not really his real name, is it? Is he from Leicester?
Jerry Dorsey.
Jerry Dorsey, his name.
That's his real name.
Yeah.
Jerry Dorsey.
Jerry Dorsey would have been a great rock and roll man. Why would you change it to Engelbert Humperdinck?
Well, I just imagine who thought of that name. Like, what's the most bizarre name I've ever heard? But the Family. There's a band called the Family from the '60s.
The Family and.
Who was in
Shiwaddy Waddy. There's a 70s
Shiwaddy from there, really?
kind of like Elvis impersonators, So.
Which there was for millions of years in England.
Yeah.
Everybody was in that.
Yeah. I am.
It seems to me you guys have.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
The bizarre Elvis, if anything.
Yeah.
It seems to me you guys have done so much since like the last time I've seen you. You've almost got this, I don't want to say a cult following, but you've really become like a punk rock, I don't want to say dance band, but there is a vibe of, you know what I mean?
You know what you're saying?
Yeah, definitely.
In the same way that the Roses years ago.
Definitely, I agree with you.
You got to get on that mic, so.
I think, especially in America, we're seeing, because we've not been here for so long, and we've come back, and there's definitely this kind of, for the people that do know, it's kind of chaos, and the gigs have been incredible, but they're just like, we're just sort of building here, but there's that cool thing, kind of, it's what we've in the rest of the world, we've not got that anymore. We're sort of like a big band, but here we're kind of back to how it used to be, which is sort of quite refreshing.
But when you guys were growing up, like Stone Roses, obviously, were they an influence at all?
Funny enough, we were only like 8 years old, so not really.
So where was it that you?
What it was, it was a Britpop thing, because everyone wanted to be in a band again, you see, and then Serge, loved all that, and he kind of asked me to join the band when we was 16, 17, and we learned about the Roses later on, because the Roses were really the beginning of Britpop before Britpop started. They were like the end of the 80s, really, so they started it really.
It's almost like we know Ian Brown's solo before I knew the Stone Roses, because he came out, his solo albums came out about 95, 96, I think.
Yeah.
So I knew those tunes, and I was more familiar with them than the Roses. But when we first came out, it was a compliment, because they at the time they were such an important band, So
if you take that, it's a major compliment to be, a great compliment.
Big difference though to me is if you look at the old Roses videos live, when they actually were doing it live. Ian can't sing live. In the studio, he's a genius, but
that's part of their vibe, though, I imagine, isn't it? That's their vibe,
So he's very charismatic, though, and
he
that
is.
goes along.
Yeah, he's amazing.
You have that same vibe, though.
Yeah.
It's like I don't give a on stage, but you're dragging everybody along with you.
Of course, that's the point. That's rock and roll, isn't it? That's what you should be doing. Not everybody, but I should be doing. So.
Right. Your job is you are the MC, and you are,
of course,
are doing that stuff as well.
Of course.
Where did that come from? Was there an influence in your life?
I found it in a Kinder egg. you get a little toy and you open it, and
it was there.
And it was there, So.
And how did you translate that little toy into this? Did it speak?
I swallowed it. and then it's happened. You know.
Tom's like a born entertainer. Like, that's just,
He
never
is.
stops. He never
Was he
stops.
like this when he was
never
16?
That's the thing. Even like, it doesn't even matter on stage, in the car. Like, it's incredible. Like, it just. Some people are just born with that, and like, there's nothing else.
So you must be stoked. That's our Southern California word. Stoked to have found him as a friend.
I mean,
and
I fell out. I fell out the apple tree. Serge went, put me in his basket, and that was it, you know. And then I joined his band, you know. So that's pretty much how it was, really.
well, then for you, your influence is that in putting this thing together. Obviously, you found him. You said, all right, he's going to be the front guy. But how did that whole thing come about?
I suppose it was. You got to pinpoint that time, like 94, 95. When you know Oasis sort of was such a big band, and then there was so many great bands, and for a moment it was kind of, you know, British music was massive everywhere, you know, and
right.
so that inspires kids, you know, and you think, wow, we can do that, so let's start.
And you've got to remember as well, there was no internet, right? And people sold lots of records, and everyone owned a record, and everyone had an album, and everyone had a CD, and there was a myth, and there was a myth about bands, you know. You won't follow them to the toilet, or do you know what I'm saying?
No,
you know,
I know what you mean.
Magical things kind of got, but it, you know, we can do some amazing things now. Like we can make so we can make our own videos now and put them online and do B-side videos or whatever it is, or photos, and to an extent, you know. But back then there was more of a myth to it, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
A DIY vibe. You guys could come up with anything you wanted to,
Yeah.
and it would filter out through whatever.
I'm sure
it was.
the Beatles would have been the same, or the 60s band if they were still around doing that. They would have loved to be in that situation to create their own stuff, you know.
Well, and that's what some of that they did their own promotional films.
Of course
back
they
in
did.
those days.
They're responsible.
Yeah.
The Beatles were responsible for making videos before anyone. They invented it, didn't they? They invented MTV. So
I think that because people had more fun back then. I think it's become a lot more serious than it shouldn't be. I think that's what we've always kept true to us, is we've always kind of not taken it too seriously, and I think that's massively important.
But at the same time, on stage, you're one of the most serious bands. You put everything into it. It's not.
definitely,
You're not.
Definitely.
You're not messing about.
There's a cheeky wink there as well, and
Yeah.
you know we've said some pretty outrageous things in the past, you know, in British press or whatever, and we've been known for our quotes and being mouthy, but it was only part of the game we played, you know, and. I don't really know. It was just there was a little smile in there behind it as well, you know. And people took it literally a little bit too serious. We didn't make not too many enemies, but you know, it's just part of what we did, you know. Right. So,
who are you into now? Who this weekend at Coachella? Is there any?
I love the Horrors, man. I love their last album.
They're supposed to be coming here momentarily. As a matter of fact.
Oh wow, the Horrors on the way. Yeah, great. We get on with them. We get on with them really well.
Say hello.
Say hello to the Horrors.
Right, and who else? Anybody else?
I saw this band, the Death Grips. That song Guillotine, it blows my mind. I think they played last night.
They did play last night.
I never heard anything quite like that.
So there is still new stuff.
I bought Alabama Shakes. They're great. It's but they're out. No.
The whole thing is.
That's what I'm saying.
Capture.
It's really.
You guys, great man. You go see them live, and then you try to put it. On the vinyl.
There's a few songs on that record that are fantastic, you know. So, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Next weekend, are you going to change the setup at all?
See how it goes.
So basically, you
Oh shit, we're coming back, ain't we?
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
this is a bizarre concept. Where are you playing in between the?
Oh, we're everywhere, ain't we? LA, San Francisco, Japan, in between there.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
You can probably get Japan and back.
Yeah, probably. We'll probably do that for a day.
Well, it's wonderful to see you guys again. Thank you for
Thanks for having us. Thank you very much.
And I'm going to come out next. I'm going to bring my kid out next week because I want him to see how it's done.
Yeah, appreciate it. How was your kid? How was your boy?
He's 18 now.
Oh wow. Well,
I think the last time you saw him, he was about 10.
Well.
I know.
Time flies, mate.
It does. Kasabian.
Thanks, man. Bye bye. 91X.